Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to a different kind of video today. So 4 weeks ago I went suit shopping with my best man in London for my wedding suit, and I'm going to go through what it was like going shopping for a suit as someone that's a bit larger, the problems I faced, the actual suit I bought for my wedding day. So if you guys don't know already, I've been engaged for like 9 months now. No, a year. Fuck me, a year. Holy shit. It's getting close now. So the wedding is May. I'm not going to give a specific date, but yeah, it's getting close now. And I actually remember 3 years ago when I posted a video after I'd got with Amy. I think it was called like My Beautiful New Girlfriend. I think I've removed it since then, but at the time a lot of people were like, oh, this is cringe, you're coming on too strong, this is never gonna last. And here we are 3 years later, with a wedding basically fully planned, living together in a house. You know, things sometimes just go and work. But anyway, this video's not about that. It's about, I'm gonna have a bit of a rant about Moss Bros and how useless they were. But anyway, let's get back to the start. So I went up to London to meet my best man, and I figured that was the best place to get a suit. David, my best man, is 6'3", 6'4", also into bodybuilding. He's a PT, he's big like me, so he needed a big suit as well. So we were both sort of facing the same struggles. So I've never actually owned a full three-piece suit. I've worn like smart clothing before, shirts and that sort of stuff, smart trousers, a tie, but I've never had a full suit. So I was like, right, I don't really know what I'm looking for or what I'm doing. So I went and booked an appointment at Moss Bros on Oxford Street. I figured, you know, go and book a set appointment, get measured up, you know, get some advice from some people who work in a suit shop. And I knew Moss Bros is quite a big brand, well known and cheapish, because I don't have a massive budget or anything, right? So anyway, I get to London, I get to Moss Bros, and I realise on Oxford Street there's two Moss Bros. There's one at one end of the high street and one down the other end about a mile away. I got there about 20 minutes early, so it's like, you know what, I'm just going to make sure I'm at the right store, because it doesn't specify on your booking exactly what store it is, so you just have to remember, and I didn't know which one it was. I don't go to London that often. So I went inside, I was like, I've got an appointment here today at 12, I just don't know if it's in this store or your store down the road. Can you check on your system for me to find out if I'm in the right place? So I'm there on time, you know, actually I was eager, I wanted to be at the right place, get started right away. Things immediately started going wrong. It took them 20 minutes to get the manager up and figure out if I even had an appointment with them, in which time I would have been late for the other one if I'd missed it, if it was at that one. So that already cheesed me off a bit, making me wait around 20 minutes just to check something. And then the appointment itself was such a pointless piece of shit. Where do I even start? So to begin with, me and David, we wanted to get measured up for our suits so that when we went around the stores, we knew what sort of size to pull off the rack and try on, and sort of what sort of size we wanted to be aiming for. They basically refused to measure us. It was so dumb. And like, that was one of the main reasons I got a booking as well, was to get my size done properly. So essentially, I went, once we actually got there and the appointment started, I was like, yeah, we're here to buy my wedding suit and my suit for my best man, want to be the same. And then they were like, do you want to rent or buy? And I was like, well, I'm buying my suit because I want to keep it and that sort of stuff. And also getting it tailored in, and that was my aim. So I wanted to buy too big and tailor it in. Moss Bros didn't understand that at all, their staff didn't. They said the measurements for renting and buying suits is different, they have different measurements. I was like, cool, can you measure me anyway? Because I want to know what my measurements are. And they're like, oh, there's no point measuring you because every suit fits different on the rack. I was like, we came here to get measured, and they just kept giving excuse after excuse as to why they couldn't be asked to measure us, basically. Like, the store was quiet, there was like 6 people in there, they're all just fucking around on their phones and stuff. The manager was just in and out for coffee, doing whatever. Like, they were absolutely no help. Like, they refused to do the one basic thing I asked of them. They briefly showed me around the store at some suits, literally just pointing at the sections. That's slim fit, that's tailored fit, that's whatever. And I was just like, it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not being funny, but if I was a salesperson in Moss Bros, and I've done sales before, I've worked in retail, if I heard someone coming in and saying, we want to buy 2 suits today, right, for a wedding, I'd be thinking, cha-ching, right, commission, you know, because you do get paid commission at basically all of these retail places. You know, I'd be thinking, right, let's actually really help these guys out, get them something from the store right now, make some money in my pocket. But nope, they just couldn't be fucked. I expressly said to them, I need a suit today. I'm getting married in May. I said I wanted to buy the suit too big and I was going to get it tailored in later because I'd likely be a different size in a few months because I'm still cutting down. So I went to London in a fairly lean shape, so I know that it will be similar to what I'll be in May. And they simply said to me, oh, you're too early to buy a suit. That's all they kept saying to me. It's like, oh no, you shouldn't buy one yet. I was like, I came to London today to buy a suit. Can you help? And they're like, oh, now you want to come back in 5 months and get one nearer the time. They really just could not be asked of us. It was really frustrating. They just kept making excuses and trying to act like they were right when I just wanted help and they were just refusing to give me any. So in the end, I just fucked off this session and we just went off and looked at stuff on the rack on our own. Here's some pictures of stuff I managed to try on at Moss Bros. And a few of the other stores that I went to in London. I think I went to 2 different Moss Bros just to see if they had a different collection, and they did slightly, but the thing I found with them as well, other than the staff at the one I went to, at least on that day, being completely unhelpful. So one thing we noticed trying one of these suits off the rack is, in a lot of these pictures you can see they're just way, I bought them, or tried them on too big because that's the only thing that would fit. So the biggest size we managed to find in Moss Bros was like a 48-inch chest. That was still too tight on a lot of them for me, especially for the arms, annoyingly. So, and that was in 2 different stores. I couldn't find anything bigger than 48 inches. The trousers were all fine, but yeah, just trying to get something that even just fit on me was such a struggle because of my back and chest width together. It just makes, and David is the same, he's got a really big dimensions too. If anything, he needs a bigger suit than me, so he was really struggling to find even a blazer that would fit on him. And I know the Moss Bros are quite cheap suits, but after going around a few different shops, I realised the quality of them is quite poor. They are kind of like the Primark of suit shops, it seems like. So you can get a suit in there for like £200 or less, but you can really see the difference in quality compared to when you go to a decent quality suit shop. Which we did. We accidentally ended up on Savile Row, which, if you don't know, is really famous for like super high quality suits. So just out of interest, we went into one of these designer shops, and you know it's expensive when they don't have price tags on anything, right? That's when you know that it's going to be thousands and thousands of pounds. But I went in there anyway, had a quick look and asked for a quote on a tailored made suit, and they were like 42, and I was like, what? 42? They're like 4,200. I was like, oh. It's just like, yeah, it's a little bit out of my price range. 4,200 for a basic standard like tailored suit. Oh my god. I mean, to be fair though, looking down the racks and the quality of them, it was just the difference was massive. But then again, you are paying 10 times as much. It's more than 10 times as much. So, but again, the quality of suits in there was so much better than I'd seen, but out of our price range. So, took the whole bloody day looking, really struggled to find anywhere. And then luckily we went into Westfields in Stratford. We went into a shop called Milano something or other. I got the bag here. MC Online is their website if you're curious. But they were great. So they were so good with us. So the moment we went in the door, they greeted us. They asked what I wanted. When I said wedding suit, the guy's ears perked up like you should do. Like he was really helpful to me. So first thing he suggested was, I was looking at sort of like dark grey kind of textured suits, and he was like, you don't want a dark grey. At a wedding, you want a nice bright colour sort of to stand out from everybody else. Everybody else should be wearing the darker tones, the blues, the greys, the blacks. You should go with something a bit more striking. And that's exactly what I did, because a lot of the other ones I tried were more dark colours, And although I liked them, now I think about it, the one I got in the end was just so much better. So right off the bat, he was really helpful. He understood that I wanted to buy it too big and then tailor it down. And he even I found one I liked off the rack, put it on, and he started pinning it for me right then and there in the shop, like pulling it in to show me what it would look like when it's been tailored down to the right size. And God, having a right fitting suit makes such a difference. And yeah, they were super useful. They pinned it all in for me. They said you can come back in 6 months and we'll tailor it ourselves, which is a nice thing to hear, because if you're getting it tailored by the people who make the suit in the first place, it's just going to end up a better job. He also said that if I happen to outgrow the bits I bought now, they would just give me the next size up as a replacement, because I'm not exactly going to wear this suit before my wedding anyway. So they were perfectly happy to do that, which I just thought was really great. Just miles and above better service than the other shop. While I was in getting changed, the other guy was talking to David, you know, helping him out of stuff, giving him some advice and that. They were both talking to us about our bodybuilding and that, and that they used to be into it. And you know, just being friendly, you know, good salesmen, good at their job. And I got this suit out of it. And here it is, here's the suit. So I forgot to mention it's from Mark Darcy. I think that's a designer brand of some sort. I've got some brown shoes to go with it, which I think match quite nicely. Now obviously this is going to be a lot better fitted when it's done in a couple months. So like stuff like the tailoring of the legs will come in, so it's like a nice tailor fit rather than this baggy mess. The waistcoat's already pretty snug actually. It doesn't almost come around my cleavage. I'll show you that in a minute. Cleavage. The blazer is obviously going to be adjusted at the wrists. I'm wearing a white Father-son shirt underneath this, so that is what I'll be wearing on the actual day too, just because I like the stretch fit and I want something comfortable underneath if I'm going to have to wear it all day. I'm also going to have a backup shirt in case one gets too sweaty, so I can change, just to feel comfortable. So yeah, this is how it looks from all angles. Do the blazer buttons up. Not that I probably will much, but the thing with May is as well, we don't really know what the weather's going to be like, so I'm hoping it's warm, but not too warm, if you know what I mean. So yeah, let's take the blazer off and just show you the waistcoat on as well, because a lot of the time, I mean, I'm already getting hot, I'll have the blazer off and just rock the waistcoat. Boom. Whoa, I don't want to flex too much, I don't want to rip anything. So yeah, waistcoat's a bright blue colour at the back, and the lining of this, the blazer is also a nice blue colour, as you can see. Whoa, nice and blue. So yeah, you can see it's very tight on my chest here, but the Father-son shirts go with it quite nicely. So yeah, I quite like a waistcoat. As a bodybuilder, pops your shoulders out, sucks the middle in, so obviously this bit here is actually a little bit loose. So it's like tight around my chest here, but loose around here, so this would also come in a bit, take it a few inches in. But yeah, everything tailored in will make such a difference. So yeah, I just realised you couldn't actually see my shoes in the other clip, because I wasn't in frame properly. But yeah, I got some just brown matching shoes, these were only like 30 quid. And then the whole suit itself was 280. Which I think is a bargain. For an Italian made suit that's sort of designer, it fits really nicely, it's got these lovely blue lines in it. I really like it, and it's really comfortable. Like, it's something I'm going to be comfy in on the day. So my original budget was at maximum of £500, so I think I've done really well getting something so nice for 280, and then I'll have to go back in about 4 or 5 months time for adjustments, which he said is only going to cost 40 or 50 quid. So all in all, about £330, £350 for a 3-piece suit. I still need a tie and a pocket square, but other than that, I've got everything that's needed. So really happy. I'm excited for the wedding now. As it's getting closer, I'm getting more and more excited for it. I'm really lucky to have found someone as awesome as Amy. And yeah, ever since I've been with her, my life's just gotten better and better. And getting this suit was one of the few tasks I have actually done for the wedding. She's basically planned everything else herself. I've done very little work towards it, but
I'm really lucky in that sense. She's got spreadsheets of budgets. Weddings are not cheap, but I think we're going to be lucky and we're going to end up having a really nice one. We've found a really nice venue that's not overly expensive. I'll talk about my wedding in another video because with Amy, because she planned it all. I think it might be quite interesting. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my little rant about Moss Bros. Don't bother going there. But this Milano shop in the Stratford Westfield is really great. So if you're looking to buy a suit in London and you're like a bigger size and that's where I would go personally, because that's where I've had success. But yeah, it's tough getting a suit when you're larger and it not looking terrible. So my tip is buy too big, get it tailored in. You can buy them tailor-made to measure. I just know that costs a shit ton more normally to get one made up from scratch to measure. So if you're like me and you don't have that kind of budget, doing it the way I've done it is a much more affordable way, and you can still get something that looks really nice. I mean, this is the nicest suit I've ever owned. Well, the only suit I've ever owned, so, but you get one. It's going to be hard to beat this one, I think. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you next time without a bicep flex, so I do not want to tear this. Bye for now.